This is the KennyM Show. Hi peeps, this is KennyM. Thanks for tuning in once again. Last week we had a good chat. I had the opportunity to share the experience I had when my dad passed away. And this week we're still doing the series. Basically just want us to carry on because I know a lot of people are hurting, especially during this season that we're in, this COVID-19 season. And even prior to that, some people would have lost their family, their friends, as a result of illnesses or unfortunate circumstances. So yeah, we're still gonna carry on, and then do a few audio slides so we can all learn from it. Just to encourage ourselves to push through this season. My quote for today is pressing on doesn't necessarily mean there wouldn't be obstacles, but we need to pick ourselves, push through, and get help when we need it. That's my own quotation. And it's many a times we think when we're sort of heading somewhere, we've got the plan in our heads. There won't be obstacles in our way, but there will be, surely, because otherwise it won't be the life that we're living. So we will come face to face with certain challenges. We will struggle to go through in difficult times. It could be money, it could be friends, it could be family, it could be our husbands, our wives. Though these people could all be challenges at certain times in our lives. But it doesn't mean that's the end, You just need to seek help where you're really struggling, or professional help, or family or friends, and sometimes it might just be that you need to sit alone and recall or do a reflection on where you are, and that will help you just to go further in your pursuit for happiness or whatever quest that you're on. So we should push on when there are obstacles, and then that will get us to the other side. So thanks again for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about the aftermath of a loss. That is what happens to us the week after, the month after, 6 months into it, or whatever. It would be nice to understand exactly what happens to us and how we go through these things. Because when it happens, it's right in that instance, and sometimes there's this saying, the heat of the moment. So when you're in the heat of the moment, you might not really feel it at that time, because adrenaline would normally kick in. But then when you're 1 week or 2 weeks or a month into this experience, it sort of gives you a little bit of experience for yourself, or from what you've gathered from around. And then you start dwelling or going through certain things, So that is what we want to talk about today, the aftermath. And I've had a lot of comments coming back on the site when I posted the second audio. A few people reached out to me and basically just sharing the same opinion, or the same problems they went through themselves. So I'm thinking maybe along the line throughout this series, we might be bringing 1 or 2 people on just to share their experience, because I'm not the only one who would have lost a parent, or so other people would have also done the same. It could be a child, it could be their sibling, or their parents as well, and they have an equal experience they want to share. So I'll be inviting other people as well to come and share, and it's all for the benefit of everyone, so we can all encourage ourselves in these hard times and learn 1 or 2 things to help ourselves, So we're talking about the aftermath and what happens. What happens. Yes, I lost my mum. I think I was 24 or so then, and I explained in the last video that it happened at the stage where I was in my final year trying to finish my university education. And the aftermath, it wasn't that easy, you know. I managed to go through because I was lucky. 5 children, I was the last one, so I had like older siblings to look up to, you know, and my dad was around, and all these people stepped in, you know. They were there. They were my inspiration to carry on, like finishing school in particular, because that was the crucial thing at the time. So although my mum had died, I still had people to rely on. But when you look around, or even yourself, some people go through these things, and some go to the extent of even losing like both parents at the same time. And it's not easy, you know, like some may lose both parents through an accident. And imagine this kid, like maybe not at that level in their education, i.e. university level. Imagine they might be in primary school level and losing both parents at the time. Like, what are they going to go through? If they're really, really young, then maybe it wouldn't really hit them. But if they're at that teenage age, this is a big blow, you know, especially if there aren't a lot of people around who can take over to take care of them. And those are the sort of problems we will be going through going forward, or in these subsequent audios I'll be doing the aftermath. It's really pressing because in my situation, obviously fees would have been paid up to date, and I didn't really have any financial struggle because my dad was there for me and my other siblings. But some people don't get this benefit, you know, of having somebody around that they can rely on, somebody around that they can cry on their shoulder, you know. Some really struggle, especially at the saying the person who passed away. Let's assume the person would have been the breadwinner of their home, and they die suddenly, you know. What is going to happen? And most often than not, we tend to live in the present, forgetting that a lot of people rely on us, you know. They rely on us because of the impact we have in their lives. They could be our children, they could be our wives, they could be our brothers, they could be our sisters. But if you've started a family, there is a key here to learn that should anything happen to you, what are you leaving behind for your wife? What are you leaving behind for your children in particular? Because that is the nuclear family you've started yourself. There's a lot of materials out there in terms of what you can actually bestow onto them. Could be an insurance policy that you set up to help people, you know, to help your close-knit family in case you're no more. It happens, and it's really sad, like, for people to go through the pain of them losing a loved one, and unfortunately nothing there for them to live their life on, you know. There was nothing. So sometimes the aftermath can be very, very, very difficult. You can call it in two folds. You can say there's a short term, what would you call it? Short term effect, and then there's a long term effect. So we can talk about, because what I mentioned earlier on about the financial aspect or the financial impact, it could be a short term effect, you know, a struggle that would come upon you maybe during the first week, during the first month, first year, or a few years down the line before one would pick themselves up and then try and fend for themselves in one way or another. So you could say it might be a short-term effect which could last maybe 5 to 10 years. And when it happens like that, where do you tend to, you know? When you haven't been in this kind of situation before, you struggle to really understand where those of us that have lost parents or both parents are coming from. That's why I said in one of the earlier audios, mine may have not been that serious, but someone out there, you listening to me right now, you know the struggles that you went through, and sharing it might be a way of healing for somebody even when they hear it. So just trying to understand the aftermath, how we deal with the loss when it happens. What actually takes place in us, within us. And I'm talking about the financial aspect. Assuming there was a will that the person left all the property, left insurances in your care, then at least there is some sort of financial support to take care of you. But what if there wasn't any? And what if there wasn't anyone that you can turn to give you that support that you need? And even putting the financial one aside for a minute, the experience I went through during my final stage, and that was in my final year. So we're talking about somebody who is just about to start university, somebody who's just about to start college, just about to start like something in life, and for this blow to hit them, is that the end? Are they going to shelve it and say, well, I've lost my dad, I've lost my brother, I've lost my mum. There's no point in me going forward, Will that be the best? For them, it might be, because they are the ones going through the pain. They are the ones at loss. They are the ones going through that sorrow. People will come around. The people will stay for a week. The people will stay for a month during the funeral preparations. But they go. These people go. They go after a month and you're left on your own. And if there is nothing that you can look up to push you on, you end up staying in that position for a while, because loss is very, very difficult. I am here speaking to you that have lost a sibling, that have lost a sister, that have lost a mum, or you who knows someone who's lost somebody, as a way of encouragement. Because maybe you may not have necessarily have that one-hand experience that you can advise or encourage them from a personal experience. So I'm just trying to give you a leverage that you can hold on to and then offer that helping hand to somebody. So I'm only talking about that financial loss today. And let's start thinking about if we're a family, if we've started our own families, let's start thinking about the what if, should it happen, what our children are going to go through. And let's start putting certain things in place. An insurance scheme would be handy to take care of them if you're no more. The loss won't bring them back, but at least there will be some form of security. So take it easy in life. Don't stress yourself too much. Let's start thinking about how we can help people in the aftermath when we're no more. You can leave comments in the comment section below. Get in touch. Let me see how you pulled through your grief. It'll be interesting to know how others did it. So at least we can all learn from each other. So start a conversation in the comment section below. Or if you want to get in touch, my email address is in the description below. And we can have a conversation. I might be able to maybe talk you out of something you're planning on doing now. And hopefully don't forget that you have a purpose in life that you need to push for. So stay blessed, and I will come your way again next week for another discussion. Thank you for staying with me, and stay blessed. This is the KennyM Show.